Yeah, I think T-Roy sabotaged us.
Maybe. Right now it might be. I turned everything on, even GoPros, but it might create an echo. We're going to find out here real soon. Anyway, things that we got going on here. Nick, I've got a list of things to talk to you about. And so one of the things later on is going to be, when we come back from break, we're going to talk about the WWE in Saudi Arabia.
Sure.
It's going everywhere. The AAF.
We got sound.
Okay, the AAF we'll be talking about.
This is the All-American Football League.
The Alliance of American Football.
Okay. This is the Ebersol one.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it. Well, there's 3 new football leagues or 2 new football leagues. How many new football leagues?
Well, there's obviously the NFL,
Yes.
and then
The
after that,
CFL.
yes.
And there's World League.
Is the
That's
World
still
League
going?
still a thing?
I don't know.
I don't think so. It's not. I don't think it's.
Jay
Right.
Gruden, Barcelona Dragons.
You have your indoor football leagues,
Yes.
and then
Your
you're gonna
arenas.
you're gonna have your AAF,
Yeah.
and then
XFL 2.
XFL is gonna be in 2020.
Mm.
So the AAF is the one that we're going to be focusing on after the Super Bowl. We got some news about them. And then after the break, also, I'm going to talk to you about Rocky Month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's a total thing. That's a real thing that's really happening, and not just something that you're trying to make happen.
Yeah, but real quick, I want to give a PSA out there to the fans in the Northeast. All right? The Boston fans that were at the parade yesterday, and the Buffalo Bill fans.
The ones throwing the beer cans? Or
Yeah, the ones throwing the beer cans.
That seems like something that's just going to happen.
Well, they did this because with the Patriots, when they threw full beer cans at Gronk, he caught them and drank them.
Yeah.
So they're hoping that these guys are going to catch their beers and drink them.
And they didn't realize that nobody's really a polar bear.
The best one I saw was there was a media guy that happened to be in the vicinity.
Yeah.
That one was coming right for Mookie Betts, and he put his arm out and blocked it.
Nice.
And said, once again, fan interference prevents Mookie Betts from making another catch.
Alex Cora got hit with the beer can, but unfortunately, the trophy got hit.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the some of the flags on the trophy got hit, and I believe a fan was arrested. So they arrested a man.
19 years old?
Yep.
Yeah, he's young.
Patrick Connolly of Sandwich, Massachusetts, was charged with disorderly conduct and assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. Police said the can struck but didn't injure an unidentified man aboard one of the amphibious duck boats carrying players and their families in Wednesday's
So
race.
beer can's a weapon now.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, I imagine they're going to overcharge this thing to prevent people from doing this in the future, right? Like, you're making an example of this guy. And also, don't throw full beer cans at people, especially when they're with their families on a duck boat.
That's the thing is they're with their families.
Yes.
And unless they look right at you and go,
Yeah. Beer. Yeah. Beer.
then
me
don't
kid.
do it.
Yeah.
Isn't that the international sign for hit me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 claps and open hands.
Yeah.
Like, eye contact.
Hey, Cora!
Yeah. I didn't ask for this.
No.
Yeah. The other thing is Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. They were not throwing beer cans.
No. Now the new tradition. This is the 3rd year in a row that they
Breaking tables?
Yeah, they threw sex toys on there.
Yeah.
Oh, that whole thing.
Yeah.
This is infinitely more funny than throwing beer cans at a parade, right? This is the Buffalo tradition of when they play the Patriots.
This is like what we were talking about like a month ago with the guys throwing like dead animals on the basketball court.
Yes. Yeah.
Like this is
the chopper. Yeah.
But also, I thought this whole thing was settled in the Malice of the Palace, right? Like, don't throw
that's
things.
coming up. This
Okay.
month.
Don't.
The anniversary that's coming up
this
this
is
month.
an NFL game.
It's the same month as Rocky Month.
Yeah.
Oh man.
When's the last time you guys have been to an NFL game?
A couple years.
You have to go through security. They pat you down. You empty your pockets like you're going through TSA. How are these guys getting all these sex toys
There's a
in through security?
Perfect place to hide it.
That's
Yeah.
what I say.
But I mean,
That's what I said.
I understand that it's not going to go off in a metal detector. But
Well,
can't
it
believe
depends, I suppose.
most of them should not. You're right. But not everybody's going to be smart enough to put it down their pant leg.
I mean, you get like tape it to your forearm. Like, what do you do? Where do you hide? Obviously, you know where you hide it, but if you don't hide it there, then where do you hide it?
You hide it there.
Yeah.
All right. My thing is this: before the game, New Era
Sir?
Stadium, and then not everyone's on Twitter or whatever else, but they tweeted that people who threw things on the field would be contacted by authorities. Okay? And a guy did get arrested, a Florida man got arrested. But wouldn't you go, let's say it's got to be a big stadium.
Yes.
Wouldn't you go to a different section,
Yes.
chuck it, and then hightail it all the way to the
You're
other side?
questioning the intelligence of people that, number one, premeditatively brought these into the stadium with the intention of throwing them.
Yeah.
You think they're going to be smart enough to go over 2 sections? Or put a funny mustache on?
Also, does it matter?
Change their
Isn't
hat?
every inch of that place covered with the camera? Like, are they
It's
going to
covered
find
with
you?
the
Are
camera.
they going to find you regardless?
Not in a crowd, not if you're in the busiest, most packed crowd that's going wild. Everybody's arms are all up cheering.
But
And you put on a different hat for a second?
If they have footage, they can.
I'm saying that the 3 of us could get away with it.
They can retrace the shot, right?
Right.
They can obviously see the angle from which it was shot from, and then they can trace it back to the seat. And if you got the guy on footage, you can literally get his ticket being scanned in at the front gate.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I think we could get away with it if we tried.
Oh, I feel like that's a challenge.
I'm not going to, though.
I'm going to take a wild guess and guess that it was the headphones that turned it down on sound.
Okay,
I think
probably.
they can hear us, and there's probably going to be.
Sounds way better now.
Well, yeah.
Perfect time to go to a break, though, huh?
Text TAP to 85850. That's TAP to 85850.
ESPN 93.5 is KJOC Bettendorf Quad Cities from the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studio.
It's a Rocky Month. Rocky Month. It is Rocky Month.
Oh, man.
November
Well,
Rocky Month.
Let's just jump right into this then. Even though it's not on the outline, let's just jump right into Rocky Month and why I think this is the unofficial Rocky Month.
This is possible that you get this done. Of all the harebrained schemes I've known you to have over the years, this one might be one that you can make happen.
I want to hear more about these other harebrained scheme ideas.
He's got one. He's got one all the time.
Well, yeah, I think the AAF might be another one, how I want to be the Adam Schefter of the AAF. But I'm going to tell you about Rocky Month. And here's why. Not only is Creed 2 coming out this month, basically in 3 weeks. So this is great.
You're not counting the days?
Oh, I'm counting the days, buddy.
Did you get your tickets?
Real quick here, they said the Facebook Live audio is very, very, very loud now.
Okay.
Turn that down just a little bit.
Yep.
Is that better for everybody? All right, good.
Okay, good. All right, so listen, yes, November 21st, Creed 2 is coming out. I'm going to tell you right now, I would not have personally jumped out to have him fighting Drago's kid.
That wouldn't have been the plot that you had written for Creed 2.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
hit me, Jay.
I
What would you have done in Creed 2?
I'm going to write about the fan fiction. I say this all the time, but I'm going to go home tonight because now I don't have softball or anything like that for my daughter. So I'm going to watch Creed tonight, and I'm going to write my fan fiction for it. It had something to do with the guy coming back out of prison from the first one, everything else. I think you save that for 3 or maybe 4.
Well, I feel like 4 would be the one. You're kind of jumping ship because now, like,
do you think Sylvester Stallone was worried about his own longevity, and he's like, I got to get this out of the way now?
And I feel like Stallone's like, I'll be in Creed 2, but you got to kill me. The same way Harrison Ford did this with the Star Wars movie. Like, I feel like Rocky dies in this Creed 2. No?
I don't know.
Like, Rocky's going to die in one of these Creed movies, like, in the next, 2 Creed movies, right? He has to. Like, how long can Stallone keep doing this?
Rocky's like James Bond, Superman.
Rocky's like James Bond.
I've told you this. This is the reason
So
why.
are they going to recast Rocky when Stallone gives it up?
In Rocky 5,
Yeah.
originally, Rocky was supposed to die.
Yes.
And when Sylvester Stallone turned in the script, the studio exec said no. And that's exact quote was, Rocky is like James Bond and Superman. He does not die.
Okay, that
So
was
rewrite it.
96?
No, it was 1990.
Rocky 5 was 1990?
No, I'm sorry. No, that was 90. Yeah, 1990.
Rocky 5 was 1990. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
November 16th, 1990, by the way.
that was almost 30 years ago. You're telling me nothing might have changed.
Let me tell you something. In November 21st, 1976, Rocky 1 comes out.
Yes.
November 27th, 1985, Rocky 4 comes out.
Yeah.
November 16th,
That is,
1990, Rocky 5 comes
That's
out.
2 of the best 6 Rockies right there.
I mean, if you're doing the math, and there's 8 of them, Creed comes out November 19th, 2015. Creed 2's coming out. 5 out of the 8 come out in the month of November. I'm just saying, we might as well call it Rocky Month, right?
I
5
feel,
in the series.
I feel like it's something the whole country can get behind right now.
Well, here's the thing. The only person I have that would maybe like it on Twitter and is in my phone for context is the mayor of Bettendorf. So I'm just going to ask him to have the city of Bettendorf.
I assume he's listening right now.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like you're making your plea as we speak.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I'm going to ask him to make it official for the city of Bettendorf to make it Rocky Month.
What's the tallest flight of stairs in Bettendorf? Can we get a statue at the top of it?
That is a great question.
Can we get a ceremony? Can we get like a ribbon cutting? Do you have a giant pair of scissors?
What would you think would be it used to be the rocket at Rocket Park. Now I don't know.
A ceremony at the top of the rocket at Rocket Park?
Anyway, you're going to going to Creed 2 with me, right?
Can we do it?
Serge, we're going to Creed 2, right?
Oh, hey, guys.
We're going
Can we do it at the top of the bonsai at Wacky Waters? Like, what's the tallest set of stairs in
All right, if we can promise to be a little more subtle about our in-theater drinking.
Oh, yeah. Well, they sell it now.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you're going to bring your own in, let's not make the sound 3 seconds after you open it.
Yeah. You got to cough through that.
No, you have to time it with the ringing of the bell before the rounds.
Yeah. There you go. Well, anyway, I think that's we're definitely going to see Creed 2, but we're going to make Rocky Month.
All right, you heard it, Mayor Gallagher. Get on this.
Yes.
This is our chance to really do something.
Okay. Now, Nick, you're not I wouldn't say you follow the WWE.
I tangentially follow the WWE through you, Jay.
But I would say you have
I'll gamble on some things.
The WWE has a pay-per-view this Friday.
Sure.
It's called Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in Saudi Arabia.
A lot of controversy.
All right. They're going to keep it going on despite that, the Saudi Arabia's Attorney General conceded that the murder of the Washington Post columnist was premeditated.
Sure.
So Cena pulled out.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan pulled out.
Yeah. And you can certainly see why Cena would pull out. He's he's not bigger than the WWE, but he certainly has bigger things going on than the WWE, right? Like he's in a lot of mainstream movies.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of work outside of that. He basically isn't going to risk that to do this.
Yeah, I think. Well, that's a good. He's got a brand.
Yes.
And he's done certainly enough for the company, and that he doesn't really need to be a part of it. Daniel Bryan is more of the pacifist type of vegan type of guy that doesn't want to be.
He's actually
more
taking
political.
a stand on this, right?
Yeah, and they did say to their talent, you can decide to go or not.
Yeah.
This guy, they're getting a lot of money for this.
Right.
And it's almost like this prince is basically just saying, I want all my favorite wrestlers from when I was 17.
Yeah.
So that's why they're having.
And I have all the money in the world, so I can make my wishes and dreams come true.
The other crazy thing, though, is that this is not a good idea for the WWE.
This isn't. I didn't know this till this morning.
But Vince McMahon doesn't care. Not only going to Saudi Arabia,
right?
And Renee Young is going to be an announcer there, and in Saudi Arabia, the women have to be fully clothed and everything. But
so she'll be in full burqa.
I don't know what they're going to do here, honestly, with her. But the other thing is the WWE, Vince McMahon's like, you know what? Forget it. I'm going all in.
Yeah.
Now, as a host, I'm going to bring in Hulk Hogan, who's got his own problems.
It's like a triple down. It's, you might have a problem with this decision. Guess what? We're doing it, and we're going all the way, and we're bringing Hulk Hogan back. We've been talking about this for, 8 years? Ever since the Hogan scandal broke and he kind of got shunned by the WWE, we were wondering when are they going to finally embrace him and bring him back completely. Because it's a matter of time. Because Hulk Hogan sells things, right? Hulk Hogan's worth money to the WWE. And certainly his legacy is worth money to the WWE. And we know with Vince, if it's worth money, he's going to do it. It's the same with the Saudi Arabia thing. He could easily cancel this thing, but it's worth a ton of money to him over the course of the next 50 years.
I know. It's just not a really, I don't know. It's just not a really good idea to bring it in.
But he knows that his fan base doesn't care that much.
No. But
they're not gonna abandon this because of this.
I know. I just worry about what the locker room's gonna do. I don't worry about what the locker room's gonna do. It's just not a good thing because of what he has done in the past. What he said.
Not only that, but Vince doesn't care what the locker room does.
Yeah, it's a second chance for Hulk Hogan, but really he's never really. I guess. Yeah. Yeah. But he's never really come out. He's never done the apology tour. How's that?
No.
And he's never been forced to. So he was banned by the company in 2015, and they just earlier this year gave him a chance to address the locker room and apologize.
2015?
Yeah. But it's not so much that he went around.
It feels like 40 years ago.
He didn't do the GMA and Today Show type of apology.
On the Vans Pizza Pub and Grill Facebook comment thread here, Andy from the Natty wants to know if the Iron Sheik's going to show up.
No. Him and Hogan,
that.
I don't believe are... No, I don't think so. I don't even know. Yeah, follow the Iron Sheik on Twitter.
He's getting pretty old.
The Sheik gives good Twitter, for sure.
Does he really?
Oh, man, he's the best.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
You wouldn't have guessed a 76-year-old man would be.
No, he really brings it.
yes, he does. Yeah, which I mean, they haven't brought him back though. He is in the WWE Hall of Fame, but they've never brought him back for anything, and I don't believe he's under a Legends contract as well. So
I feel like he's a bit of a loose cannon.
he's a loose cannon.
Like you give him a microphone in a room full of people.
A lot of his tweets have to do with break your effing neck jabroni. So
Yeah.
to almost everybody out there. So,
He's one of the guys really keeping Jabroni alive.
yeah. All right, and then Nick, I the other thing I'm trying to sell you on and everybody else, and Serge, I don't know if you're on board, but this Alliance of American Football.
I'm fine with it.
Anyway,
you don't have to sell me on it.
Can we wrap up this?
Sure.
This crown
Yes.
jewel thing. Are you watching?
The time I think is it on tonight
You're
at
a
11
subscriber.
o'clock? Yeah, to the network. I may if I have nothing else going on.
All right,
to
you're
be honest
watching
with you.
it. Fine. Let's talk about AAF. You're in.
What do you think about them going to Saudi Arabia? How's that? You're more on the political front of things than I am, to be honest with you. What do you think about them going to Saudi Arabia?
It's not at all surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what we've done is boiled things down to monetary transactions. If there's money in it, there's no shame or morals anymore. Just take the money. It's the same way, we're going to keep this arms deal with Saudi Arabia after all this because we don't want to give up the $1 trillion and let it go to somebody else, which is just dumb. Just dumb.
Is there any connection at all because Linda McMahon is head of the cabinet of small business? Do you think that they at all, because like you said, keeping the deal, they don't want to ruffle any feathers?
It wouldn't matter.
This is
Like if she weren't, it wouldn't matter. Vince wouldn't. It wouldn't matter who the president was. It wouldn't matter what the political situation was. Vince McMahon's taking that money.
one day after they announced that they will not be pulling out of Saudi Arabia. WWE announced the new multi-year initiative with Girl Up to create Sports for Purpose program, which is designed to help girls across the world be more active in sports. The timing is a little suspicious.
No, you're saying this is an insincere effort to really get out there and encourage ladies to participate in sports.
Yeah. It's just a little suspicious
Weird.
the day after that they say, yeah, no problem. We're going to keep going forward with this. But
I don't know, man. Vince McMahon seems like a rock. He seems like a really solid, just a sincere guy who's trying to do his best for everything.
he comes back from everything. He's still got this Fox deal that's going to happen 2019. And,
Yeah.
and he survived the steroid case. So, hey, he's going to be all right.
I mean, there's a plethora of things that have happened with retired wrestlers. There's just a lot.
All right. Okay, announced by the Alliance of American Football. They're going to hold a protect or pick quarterback draft. All right? You excited? You will be.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Yes, okay. So the Alliance of American Football will hold a protect or pick quarterback draft live from the new Esports Arena, Las Vegas, at the Luxor on November 27, 2018. Trying to steal Rocky's thunder.
That's Rocky Week. It's Rocky Day, Rocky Week, and Rocky Month.
All right, television partner CBS Sports will broadcast the first of its kind draft for the Alliance at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Former Super Bowl champion and head of football development for the Alliance, Hines Ward, will host the draft.
Hines Ward.
Yes. From combines held over the summer to our upcoming quarterback camp in San Antonio, our experienced group of GMs and scouts from each team continued to be impressed with the level of talent on display and available to them. So basically what they're saying is they realize that the quarterback is the most important tool to each team's success. Okay? So the protect or pick draft format begins with each team deciding if they want to protect one quarterback that has been allocated to them from their region. So like from where you're at, usually they kind of try to take college players from there. Like the Birmingham Iron has Trent Richardson's on their team because he went to Alabama. You understand?
The running back.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that's how they allocate. They've already made rosters for every team.
The 31-year-old running back who didn't make it in the NFL.
Well, yes.
He's the big name of the Alabama Ironsides. What's
Birmingham Iron, yeah.
Okay.
I like Ironsides. Okay. So just to let you know, they've already got rosters out there. All right.
They do?
Yes.
Well, hit me with some names, Jay.
Okay, I can pull that up in
Give
a
me
second.
some quarterback names.
Okay. You want the quarterback names?
I want to know I want to know any of the quarterbacks who are playing in this league.
Okay.
It's like who's available for this keep or protect draft, which, I mean, the whole thing seems pretty convoluted when you don't have talent.
What? I gotta pull up the roster for the Atlanta Legends. Who do you want?
I want anyone. You name me one quarterback in this league.
Okay. Let's just go to the Birmingham Iron.
Great.
Quarterbacks already allocated to them. Steven Garcia played at South Carolina.
Steven Garcia, yes.
John Gibbs.
John Gibbs, brother of Barry.
Played at Alcorn State.
Yeah.
And Eli Jenkins, Jacksonville State.
Big name.
They also have R.J. Nitty, played at Bucknell.
He's also a quarterback?
Yeah, so they can, I don't know which one. Oh, they got all kinds of quarterbacks on this roster.
Is this we're gonna try out a dozen quarterbacks and hope one sticks?
Yeah, they're gonna have to trim this roster down. What would be? Oh, our team. We decided we're gonna back the Orlando Apollos. So right now on the Orlando Apollos, there's Kevin Anderson from Fordham.
Because it's Rocky Mount?
No, because we could take an Allegiant flight straight down there.
Ah.
B.J. Daniels from South Florida.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Who was the first one?
That was Kevin Anderson. He went to Fordham.
Kevin Anderson from Fordham.
Mm-hmm.
The
K.D. Humphreys went to Murray State.
What do you do? What is this?
Stephen Morris played at Miami.
I know Stephen. I know that name.
Do you? Okay. Well, that's how this works, all right? So, like I said, if a team elects to protect they name the player they are protecting as their first selection in the draft.
Yes.
If they decide to pick, they wait until every other team has made the decision. Once each team makes the decision, the teams that elected not to protect a player make their selection in the order of the draft from the remaining pool of all available quarterbacks regardless of region. All selected quarterbacks must be under contract, so you can't go out and say, hey, I'm going to take Blake Bortles and wait till they cut him. All right, they already have to be under contract to the Alliance. At the time, and the Alliance quarterback draft will be comprised of 4 rounds. The San Diego Fleet as the first pick, followed by Birmingham Iron, Arizona Hotshots, Orlando Apollos, Atlanta Legends, Salt Lake Stallions, Memphis Express, and San Antonio Commanders.
These all very much sound like team names that would be made up for a movie that couldn't use the NFL license.
It does.
Right?
Not like the replacements.
Yeah.
This quarterback skills camp is going to be November 12th through the 14th at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio.
Are you going to go?
No, but if it was streamed, I'd watch it.
No, you wouldn't.
I got to.
Stop it.
All right. Okay, we're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to have Matt Koss from the Quad City Times.
Front Street Brewery, the oldest brew pub in the state of Iowa, is nestled beautifully along the bank of the mighty Mississippi. It has served the fine community of Davenport, Iowa since 1992 with awesome beers on tap, such as Davenport Gold, a satisfying American ale, Wise Guy, their take on the instantly recognizable German wheat, or Raging River, an English-inspired American India Pale Ale. Check out their Facebook page with food and drink specials. Also visit their webpage at www.frontstreetbrew.com. It's a restroom. It's a tap room. It's at 208 East River Drive in the Freight House Complex. That's Front Street Brewery in Davenport.
You're listening to Don't Ask Us for Local, only on your Quad Cities ESPN 93.5.
I am a real American. Fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American. Fight for what's right. Fight for your life.
Renewal by Anderson.
When it came time to replace our old drafty windows, we opted for quality with style, installed by professionals.
Renewal by Anderson.
Are your old leaky windows costing you so much money it's scary? I'm Sam Hare with Renewal by Anderson. Take the scary out of your utility bills and celebrate Halloween with us with 20% off your window or door project. Through October 31st, no money down, no interest, no payments until 2020. Take care of your window and door project in 4 easy steps. In-home consultation, measure and manufacture, professional installation, and customer care. Call now for your free in-home consultation and start saving money on your energy bills today. Saving money with Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors isn't scary, it's great. Check out renewalbyanderson.com for details or visit our showroom on 35th Street in Davenport.
Renewal by Anderson. We love our new windows.
At Crawford Company, we specialize in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. Sports, on the other hand...
Hey, Crawford guy! Go long!
No, I can't!
Here comes the pitch to Crawford guy. Strike 3.
Come
on, Crawford guy, take the shot.
Sports may not be our specialty, but home comfort is. Crawford Company, plumbing and drain cleaning, heating and air conditioning.
Look around. More Iowans working than ever before. Because of lower taxes, they have more money to spend. Across Iowa, there's all new job training to advance skills and careers. Today, Iowa is working thanks to the strong leadership of Governor Kim Reynolds. A balanced budget, record education spending, and a bipartisan plan to expand mental health services. No wonder USA Today ranks Iowa one of the best-run states in America. But Fred Hubble, he wants to throw all that away. With higher taxes, reckless new spending, and new job-killing big government regulations. Here's Hubble himself talking about raising taxes.
We're going to have to peel back all those tax cuts.
Think he's not talking about your taxes? Listen again.
We're going to have to peel back all those tax cuts. I'm talking about all the tax cuts.
Working families can't afford that risk. Liberal Fred Hubble. He'll take Iowa in the wrong direction.
I'm Kim Reynolds, and I approve this message, paid for by the Kim Reynolds for Iowa Committee.
As the seasons change, the athletic teams at Augustana College begin to look toward winter sports. It starts Sunday with the inaugural Genesis Collegiate Challenge. Augustana College and St. Ambrose University renew their basketball rivalry at the Tax Slayer Center with free admission. The women tip off at 2:15 and the men follow at 5. Men's soccer follows with a 7 o'clock battle with UW Whitewater at Thorson Lucan Field. Football returns home Saturday the 10th, hosting Carthage. For more information, visit augustana.edu. Augustana College, a family-friendly front-row seat to big-time small college sports.
ESPN 93.5 is KJOC Bettendorf Quad Cities from the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studio.
Welcome back to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're here at the Hassle Palace, brought to you by Done Right TV. Joining us now from the Quad City Times, sports editor Matt Koss. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
Good to be with you guys this week. In full swing with postseason stuff right now, so fun time of year.
Busy man. How was Halloween?
Didn't do much for Halloween. Actually, it was the one night I've kind of had free. The only night I'm going to have free this entire week. I've been in Cedar Rapids Monday and Tuesday night covering volleyball matches. We got football later this week, state swimming. So actually just rested and took it kind of easy last night at home with the wife. So.
Oh, nice.
Did you turn the lights off so you didn't get any traffic action, or were you handing out
Actually,
candy?
I didn't even get. And I live in Muscatine, so the trick or treat time's from 5 to 7. So I didn't even get home from work till 6:30. So, yeah, it wasn't much of an issue.
Nice. Yeah. What'd you do, Nick?
I had trivia.
Oh, so you didn't hand out candy?
No.
Yeah.
That and I feel like all the people on my street know they're just like
they're just gonna leave the crazy
this
guy alone.
This guy's gonna eat all the candy himself.
The dog.
This guy's not gonna give us the good stuff.
Stay away from the scary dog.
Yeah.
House. Yeah. I get you.
Like they get to his driveway and he just throws a handful down at him.
Yeah. Don't ring the bell. He barks if you ring the bell.
Your house is like the real life Onceler from the Lorax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
Yeah. How was Fort Dodge? Was it? Where? It wasn't Fort. It was Fort Dodge.
Yeah,
How was Fort Dodge?
Yeah, it was a long day. Area teams, we had a couple that performed pretty well. Tipton won its first state championship since 1975 in boys cross country. Calamus Wheatland, state runner-up on the boys' side, their best finish in 22 years. The Metro teams, though, maybe didn't quite perform as well as I thought going in. Pleasant Valley didn't quite come together for them as anticipated going into the meet. They finished fourth, just outside a trophy on the boys' side. They were a little disappointed with that afterward. I think they really thought, maybe not so much winning, but they definitely thought they could have been 2 or 3 in that team race, and just didn't quite have the pack run as well together as it has in some of their meets this season. So, yeah, but we survived the day, and we've put cross country now in the rearview mirror, and now it's football and volleyball.
All right, so next week, Assumption has punched their ticket in for volleyball, right?
Yep. Assumption has advanced to the state tournament for volleyball. They're one of 3 teams we'll have in the area. Tipton and Wilton are the other 2 that made it. Assumption will play at 10 a.m. next Wednesday in Cedar Rapids at the U.S. Cellular Center against Osage, and that's a 4-5 matchup. So pretty even teams. Osage has been on that state tournament. They've been in that environment. They were there just a year ago. This is Assumption's second trip in 3 years, so pretty even match. And if Assumption can find a way to get by that, they'll most likely play the top seed, Carroll Kemper, who's really, really good. They're like 41-1. So we'll see what. Whoa! We'll see what can happen there. But I like Assumption to at least get through the quarterfinal round.
So the Carroll Kemper, Dyersville Beckman, Dubuque Wahlert, these are all teams that, like, in the mid-'90s were really good in the volleyball. And all you need now is the whole Western Christian, and you've got, like...
They're there as well.
How is that? I mean, that's so weird that in the mid-'90s, those were the teams that were dominating volleyball, and now it's all back. If you can get Downport North in there, then you've really got it. You've got it all back together. So
Dubuque Wahlert really hasn't taken ever a step back. They've been consistent the last 25, 30 years. It seems like they're sending a team to the state tournament about every year. Whole Western Christian, same way. They're in the 2A field. I think they've made the semifinals like 16 straight years. That's an absurd stat to be at that level year in and year out and not have any type of drop-off. So, yeah, it seems like volleyball, you got a few schools that are perennial powers there year in and year out. And then you've got a few ones that kind of get in there every once in a while. So we'll see. But, Wallert's among the favorites in 4A again this year.
Oh, all right. So that's what you have. You have that volleyball next week. And now we go into basically the high school football. It's the quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals, yep.
Bettendorf's going to, let's look at Bettendorf first. They're going to City West, and they've played before.
It met week 2, August 31st. Bettendorf won that game 10-7. That score is a little deceiving. Bettendorf, really, when you look back at that meeting, the first half of that game, they should have had about 24 points at half. Yes. They really squandered some opportunities, turned the ball over on downs, things like that in West Territory a couple of times. They really dominated just from a field position yardage standpoint in the first half. Really the only thing Iowa City West got in that first meeting was a 90-yard touchdown pass early in the fourth quarter of that game. But when they did, then it became a very tight game the last 9 to 10 minutes when you're sitting at 10-7. So Bettendorf's going to have to be a little more opportunistic this time because Iowa City West is a lot better offensively now than they were week 2. They've made a quarterback change. They've gone to sophomore Marcus Morgan. This is a kid that's thrown for over 1,600 yards. He's a lot like Carter Bell in terms of the mobility, a guy that can hurt you with his legs just as much as his arm. So he'll scramble back there, extend plays with his feet. So that's going to be the challenge for Bettendorf's defense. And the strength of West's team all year has been their front seven. They've got the best nose guard I've seen in quite a while at the high school level. This kid's only 5'9" and 215 pounds, but he's got like 23 tackles for loss, 10 sacks. How often do you see a nose guard with 10 sacks? That's pretty uncharacteristic at the high school level, and he's been doing it week in and week out. So Bettendorf, we'll see. I think if Bettendorf can find a way to get to about 17 in this game, I think that's kind of the magic number, 17 or 20. I anticipate another low-scoring game, but I could see somewhere in the neighborhood of like 20-14, 17-10, that type of game this week.
Jay, you got a spread on this game?
I could put one together.
Actually, there's a guy, his name's B.C. Moore.
B.C. Moore usually does it.
Yeah, and he's really, really good. When you look at his results throughout the course of the year, he's pretty close to spot on about 88% of the time.
Is he handicapping just MAC, or is he handicapping like Iowa high school football in general?
Everybody.
Every high school game in the state of Iowa, he puts it through a computer formula, and it's pretty impressive. And actually, this week, he's actually got Iowa City West favored by 6 this week.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Well, like you said.
So you're saying bet the house on Bettendorf. You heard it here first. Back off. You're saying bet the house.
The home field, I mean, they're at home field or whatever else. Last game was at 2 Val. You said that. You mentioned, I remember I was, Quad City Sportsnet was nice enough to invite me at halftime to talk to him, and I said to them, both teams should feel happy going into the locker room. City West will only be down by 10, like you pointed out. Bettendorf could have been up, and Bettendorf's up by 2 scores. That touchdown pass, I mean, he went down the sidelines on the west side, and Bettendorf stopped that by putting in Carter Bell in free safety, and I know they went for that shot again, and Carter Bell was there on defense. You wrote an article today in the paper and it was about next man up. Some of the changes Bettendorf's done to their offensive line.
Yeah, they've really, when you look at it, they've had to piece things together up front. They've had a lot of injuries this year, more than usual on that offensive line. Starting in week 2, actually, when their center went down, Jack Stormeyer, and he was out for multiple weeks. He's back now. Cole Buman, their left tackle, he's missed the last couple of weeks. But Griffin Little, 6'3", 265-pound sophomore, state place winner at the wrestling tournament a year ago. He started at D tackle last year, but never played offensive line in his life, and they moved him in there week 4 this year against Cedar Falls was his first time, and he's really kind of brought some stability up front there with Griffin Deere, the 3-year starter. Those two guys have been solid. Niall Ridenauer, the right tackle, he's one of the guys that hasn't missed any time this year. He stayed injury-free. So it'll be interesting because Little didn't play on the offensive line in that week 2 meeting. Dormeyer went down very early in that game in week 2. He's back. So both teams have some guys that really didn't see a lot of snaps that are big parts of their team now in this second meeting, as we mentioned, with the new quarterback for Iowa City West. So going to be a very interesting game. I think it's going to be a one-score game in one direction or another. I really do.
Well, and I know, like I said, I read the article today that you put in the Quad City Times. Bettendorf definitely doesn't want to see a third straight year to lose to end by the hands of Iowa City West.
Yeah, and you can tell that's just from being out there a little bit this week, watching them. You can tell, obviously, they're really motivated. They've got the blonde hair going already, things that they usually wait to do until they get to the Unidome, that type of thing. So they know it really starts this week. And obviously last week they were tested for 3 quarters against Pleasant Valley and pulled away in that 4th. But this is the one I think they've kind of had circled on the calendar. It's nice to beat West in the regular season, but programs are defined by what you do in the postseason, and that's how Bettendorf's always based their program on, postseason wins. And this is a chance to make amends for what's happened the last couple of years.
Yeah. Let's go just up the road a little bit. North Scott going to be hosting Western Dubuque, the Bobcats.
Boy, I think this is going to be a really fun one as well. When you look at it, they played week 4. North Scott won that game 7-6 in Eldridge. Western Dubuque has a ton of firepower on the offensive side. And then you look at what North Scott's done on the defensive side of things. Western Dubuque, quarterback Calvin Harris, I know when we talked about that game several weeks ago, we mentioned him. He's an Ole Miss baseball recruit. This is a kid that can sling it around pretty good. He's around 2,000 yards for the season passing. He's got a receiver in Drake George who's close to 1,000 yards already this season. They've had a little bit of an injury at running back, so it's kind of they've gone to the number 2 guy, but he's stepped in and done a really nice job for him. When you look back at that first meeting, 7-6, Western Dubuque had 5 turnovers in that game, but their quarterback threw 4 picks. They had 2 other times, I believe, they were inside North Scott's 25 and came away with no points. So, yeah, credit North Scott's defense, but at the same time, obviously, Western Dubuque had a lot of opportunities that they didn't convert. You look at what they're doing right now. They scored 48 a week ago against Solon.
Previously unbeaten Solon
did that on the road. I think they're averaging about 50, 55 points here the last 3 weeks. But I tell you, you look at North Scott defensively and what they've done this year, that to me has been the biggest surprise with this football team. We knew about McLaughlin. We knew about Carson Rollinger on the offensive side of things. But their defense, particularly their front 7, and what they're getting from some guys, Griffin Wilder, starting nose tackle. Hadn't played football since 7th grade, came out this year. He's been a mainstay up front. You look at some of their linebackers, Garrett Willie. This was a kid that was just a special teams contributor for 3 years. He's finally in the starting lineup this year. He's played well for him. Ben Belkin. So a lot of guys maybe you hadn't heard a lot about before this season have really played prominent roles for him. They had 2 pick sixes in that game last week against Waverly Shell Rock that really sprung them forward to that 39-9 win. So I think this is another game like the Bettendorf West game that'll be decided in the 4th quarter. It'll be a 7 to 10 point game in one direction or another. North Scott's going to have to get a little bit more out of their offense this time around. They realize that. They cannot win this game, I don't think, with just 7 points this time. They've got to find a way to get to 17 or 20, I think, because that's asking a lot for that defense to do that again against Western Dubuque. They're just playing too well right now.
All right, the Moline goes to Batavia, defending state champions.
Good for Moline, first of all. That was their first playoff win since 2007 last week, that win over Glenbrook North. Coach Morrissey's just done a heck of a job there in 2 years. They've won 2 Big Six titles. They just kind of keep doing things that this program hasn't done in quite a while under his watch. Now they face a extreme challenge this week, as you mentioned, with Batavia, the defending state champs. This is a team that just absolutely loaded on both sides of the ball. They won 49-0 last week in their playoff opener over Gwinnett City. They got 2 linebackers that are Division I recruits. One kid going to Northwestern, another kid going to North Dakota State. They just fly around. They're not giving up a whole lot of points. I think 2 teams have gotten to 20 on them this year. Otherwise, they've shut everybody down. They're averaging close to 40 offensively, and they can do it through the air and on the ground. So a really stiff challenge this week, especially on the road for Moline. If they could find a way to pull the upset, that would be the first time in program history that they've gotten to that quarterfinal round. But I just think it's too tall of a challenge this week. But if they can find a way to keep that thing within a score or 2 going into the fourth quarter, you never know. But regardless of what happens, it's been a great season for them. You look at them, they start 7-8 juniors on the offensive side. So there's a lot of prominent pieces coming back for them next year. So they should be pretty excited about the direction things are headed.
And the other schools in the area that we got in the playoffs still?
We got Bellevue playing this week at Pella Christian, or Bellevue at home, I should say, against Pella Christian. Pella Christian got past Wilton a week ago. Bellevue looked really good in week 1 of their playoff win. I look for Bellevue to win this week pretty handily. I think they can win by 3-4 scores and get to the Unidome. Hunter Clausen, that kid's just a beast on both sides of the ball, their tailback and linebacker. And then West Liberty, they're going over to play Benton Community after their nice win over Sheraton in the first round. Chance for West Liberty to get to the semifinal round, I believe, for the first time since 1987. So they're playing really good football right now, particularly on the defensive side. Kid by the name of Spencer Dahlfelt for them, defensive tackle, who hasn't really gotten a whole lot of recruiting interest. This kid's got 8 sacks like in the last 2 to 3 weeks. He's just been a monster on the defensive side of things. So I think it will be a very competitive game. You look at Benton, they beat Wilton earlier in the year 27-13, I believe it was. So this is a game that could be 1 or 2 score game as well. So I think we're in store for some really good games. And then on the Illinois side, the one area game, we got Orion and Rockridge, a rematch from 2 weeks ago, where Orion won pretty handily, but Rockridge has got their quarterback, Riley Fetter, back, and Logan Lee's still out. So who knows? But I do like Orion to find a way to continue to move on.
Okay, now the games that we focused on. You said Moline, they have the toughest hill here.
Yeah, I'd say Moline's probably, if they can keep it when it's all said and done within 3 scores, I think that's, you don't want to get into moral wins at this time of year, but when you look at the opponent they're playing, the tough conference that Batavia's in, and what they've done to everybody this year, I would say if they can go on the road and keep it within 21 points, that's a pretty good performance.
You said BC Moore's got City West favored by 6. What's your call on this game? Who's going to come out? Who's going to the Dome?
I'm going to give Bettendorf a very, very slight edge in this game. I'm going to go with 17-14 Bettendorf.
Take the points.
But I think it's going to be another 3-point game. Iowa City West is just too good defensively, where I think Bettendorf's going to be able to put up 24-31. I don't see that happening. But I think Bettendorf defensively can do some things. They've been consistent all year. If they can find a way to make things a little uncomfortable for Morgan, West has proven this year that they really don't have a strong running game. Their leading running backs only got 300 and some yards for the entire season through 10 games. So if they can keep Godet, the big play threat for them, this is a kid averaging close to 30 yards of reception. So look for them to use Tillman, Porter, maybe even Carter Bell again on defense if they need to. They're going to pull out all the stops, obviously, this week. But I give Bettendorf the slightest of edge. I think just with how motivated they are, a senior group, I look for them to find a way to pull this one out.
North Scott hosting Western Dubuque Epworth. Do you know what BC Moore's got this one at?
I think the last I saw, North Scott was favored by 3.
Okay. Who do you got coming out of here?
I'm going to give North Scott a very slight edge as well. I'm looking, though, more like maybe a 21-17 game this time. I think there will be a few more points scored. I know Western Dubuque's playing really well right now, but that North Scott defense has been really – they haven't given up more than 2 touchdowns in a game since week 1. They've answered the bell every week. I think McLaughlin and Rollinger will play a little bit better. Their offensive line is playing at a lot higher level than they were in the first meeting. So I think North Scott finds a way to get a little bit more offense in this game. Being at home, first time North Scott's ever hosted a quarterfinal game in their program history. They got a chance to make history by getting to the Dome for the first time. I think they break through and get it done this week.
Looking at the 3A bracket, and when we looked at the RPI and how it all works out, one of the things in your article that you didn't like, and we all agreed to it though, was that Sergeant Bluff Luton was 1, even though they lost to Lewis Central. But if everything were to pan out and the top seeds were all to win in their brackets, it would probably work out best for North Scott, you would think, with the 1-loss Sergeant Bluff instead of having to face Cedar Rapids Xavier or Lewis Central, undefeated teams. Don't you think?
Well, yeah. You look at it, as you said, if it all plays out, if Sergeant Bluff, Lewis Central, Xavier, and North Scott win this week, it would be Sergeant Bluff, North Scott in one semi, Xavier and Lewis Central in another semifinal. If Sergeant Bluff loses, and I think it's entirely possible, Spencer's playing really well right now. They're in the same district, so they've seen each other. Sergeant Bluff did win that first meeting, but it wasn't a blowout by any means. So if Spencer would win, then it would put up possibly a North Scott Xavier semifinal game. You're going to have to run into, I think, Xavier at some point. But if you can wait till the championship game, obviously, that's better, I guess, for North Scott. But I think for them at this point, obviously, they just get to the Dome. That's a historic season for them.
And if it plays out in Class 4A, with Ankeny Centennial losing to Southeast Polk, either one who comes out of that's going to be on the lower end of the RPI. They'd probably have to face the winner of West Des Moines Valley or Dowling Catholic. It looks like if Cedar Falls wins, if Bettendorf were to win, there'd be a Bettendorf-Cedar Falls rematch in the Dome.
That's, I believe, if Valley beats Dowling.
If Valley beats Dowling, yeah. Oh, yes, because Dowling is the 7th.
Right.
Yeah.
So if Dowling wins, and I do think that Dowling's going to win the rematch against Valley.
Okay.
I will never bet against Dowling in the playoffs until somebody can beat them.
True.
They won 5 straight state titles. They are clicking really. They destroyed a really good Fort Dodge offense a week ago. Continuous clock on that game. They get to the postseason, they just raise it another level. Valley really struggled a week ago just to get by that first round game against Ankeny. I think it ended up being 21-17. So I like Dowling in the rematch.
So then that would if we were looking at it, that would be Bettendorf Dowling in the semis.
We would have Bettendorf Dowling in a semi and possibly Cedar Falls and either Johnston Southeast Polk. Whoever wins Johnston Southeast Polk is going to be the 4 seed going into the semifinal round. Bettendorf West winner's probably going to be settled into the 3 seed. Yeah. Or I guess the 2 seed, I should say, if Dowling wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. It'll be a little different. We've always had that East versus East, West versus West when you get in the semifinal round. And a good shot this year, we could even, if Cedar Falls, it's not a given Cedar Falls gets by Waukee either. So we could have 3 teams from the west side of the state in the Unidome.
Next week, you have to cover volleyball up in Cedar Rapids. And we can have you call in either maybe on Wednesday to just talk to preview a game. You're busy. You're moving all over. There's a lot of moving parts that you got going on now. So you and I, let's talk off the air, and once the dust settles over the weekend, let's figure out a time to call in, and you can just give us a preview of everything. That way, you don't have to make the trip into here or anything like that early in the week. But let's find a time where we can preview everything for your upcoming weekend.
Yeah, we got next week's semifinals for football. If North Scott would win Friday night, they would play next Thursday night. The schedule gets a little different next week since we go to the Dome. So North Scott could play at 5:30 or 8:15 next Thursday night in the Dome. Bettendorf would be in that traditional 4 or 7 p.m. Game on Friday. I'm thinking probably 4, unless it's Cedar Falls. Then I could see that game being the 7 o'clock game.
Yeah. All right. Well, Matt, thank you so much for coming in. Like I said, we'll find a time to schedule to have you call in and everything. Again, thanks for all your knowledge and coming in here and talking with us about local sports.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
All right, whether you're looking for a family getaway, friends and family group vacation, a romantic retreat for two, or simply need a travel professional to help you plan the perfect destination wedding, Throne Travel is here to help you. Let Throne Travel get started planning your next vacation today. They firmly believe that travel is the best therapy you can purchase. Throne Travel provides the highest quality of a service, customizing the perfect vacation experience, utilizing their expansive resources and contacts within the travel industry. They provide the highest quality in travel planning to all new and repeat customers. Start making your dreams come true. Contact Janelle at 563-323-0889 or check out Throne Travel on Facebook. Again, contact Janelle at 563-323-0889. Jeez, 563-323-0889. Make all of your travel dreams come true with Throne Travel.
You're listening to Don't Hassle Us for Local, only on your Quad Cities ESPN 93.5.
Hi, I'm Jesse White. I have lived my life with one simple philosophy: give back and serve others. I bring that philosophy to everything that I do. Whether it is supporting at-risk, low-income youth in their educational pursuits, or literally reaching for the stars as a part of the Jesse White Tumblers, I bring that same philosophy to the Illinois Secretary of State's office every day. We have enhanced customer service at our driver's license facilities throughout the state, with shorter wait times and priority service for seniors and veterans. We have made our roads safer by changing driver's education requirements and actually lowering driving deaths of our young people by over 50%. And we have created one of the most successful organ and tissue donor programs in the nation, with over 6.3 million registered donors helping to save lives of countless recipients. But there's still more to do to make our roads safer and to give others that helping hand. That's why I'm asking for your vote on November the 6th. I'm Jesse White, Illinois Secretary of State. Thank you.
Paid for by Citizens for Jesse White. As the seasons change, the athletic teams at Augustana College begin to look toward winter sports. It starts Sunday with the inaugural Genesis Collegiate Challenge. Augustana College and St. Ambrose University renew their basketball rivalry at the Tax Slayer Center with free admission. The women tip off at 2:15 and the men follow at 5. Men's soccer follows with a 7 o'clock battle with UW Whitewater at Thorson Lucan Field. Football returns home Saturday the 10th, hosting Carthage. For more information, visit augustana.edu. Augustana College, a family-friendly front row seat to big-time small college sports.
It's our first annual diamond sale going on now at Mary's Diamonds and Jewelry. Everything in the store is on sale. We're talking huge savings, up to 50% off.
Wow. Engagement rings starting at $349. Diamond necklaces starting at $89. Diamond earrings starting at $99. And come in for a chance to win a diamond necklace. Wow.
Get a head start on your holiday shopping with great deals going on at Mary's Diamonds and Jewelry, home of the new Wow Factor, 2115 East 12th Street in the village of East Davenport.
Wow.
People not from around here are often surprised that Casey's General Store's pizza is so incredibly delicious. They say they didn't know you could get the best tasting, freshest baked pizza from a convenience store. Please. We're not just a convenience store. We're the best tasting, freshest baked pizza joint you'll totally love that just happens to conveniently have everything else you need too. Right now, get 2 large single-topping pizzas for $9.99 each. Casey's, famous for pizza. Not valid with any other offer.
Quad Cities, Premium Midwest Beef has huge cases of beef, normally $2.89, right now $99 at North Park, South Park malls. You heard it right, the big case of beef, the family packs, the variety that's got T-bones, the New York strips, the giant mega ribeyes, the burgers, and Kansas City strips. All of your favorite cuts in one place. Buy in bulk, $289 cases right now, $99. That's huge savings. Nobody can beat these deals. Look, there's no haggling, there's no gimmicks, just huge savings. Nobody can beat it. We still have the 20 ribeyes for $25, and right now, for a limited time, we have $289 variety family packs for $99. Look for the huge truck and the big white tent at the malls right next to the Olive Garden at both locations. You can't miss it. Get there now. It includes T-bones, fillets, mega ribeyes, New York strips, burgers, and so much more. These deals won't last long.
ESPN 93.5 is KJOC Bettendorf Quad Cities from the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studio.
funny month.
Welcome
It's
back to
funny,
Don't Hassle Us. We're local here on ESPN 93.5 here in the Quad Cities. Thank you to everybody listening on the radio. Check us out on the app, ESPN 93.5, and you can listen to us on your computer, ESPN935.com. In the upper right corner, click Listen Now. We have a YouTube page. Go out to subscribe to that. It's QC Hassle. And we're on Van's Pizza Pub and Grill Facebook Live right now as well. You can leave comments. I want to thank Matt Koss from Quad City Times coming in. He's got a busy schedule coming up. He's got volleyball. He talked about. He's got high school football, and then he jumps right into.
He knows things, man.
Oh yeah, right off the top of his head.
Yeah, like this is.
Yeah, I looked over at one point. Again, zero notes. The guy's just got everything.
Zero
locked and
notes.
loaded. Yeah.
First time I've ever met him. I couldn't believe it.
It's impressive.
How can you possibly name like 4 offensive linemen from a high school football team off the top of your head?
Right. Because he does his job and he's good at it.
Yeah. It must be fun to be good at your job.
Think about that. He's going to go.
I'll let you know someday.
He's going to have a couple day breaks, and then he's going to write preview capsules of all the teams for wrestling, basketball, boys and girls. Jeez. Yeah, he's got a lot to cover.
Go get her, all right.
I know. So we're going to be joined soon by Adam Rosso from Hawkeye headquarters talking about the big Iowa game coming up. And you haven't met Adam yet, Nick, but he's a big NBA guy.
Nice.
And what we need to talk. We're going to be talking about Derrick Rose and
NBA talk in general.
NBA talk in general and the saga of Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah.
I mean, what did he do? He sat out yesterday.
Yeah.
He's tired.
Yeah.
And now they're thinking it's going to be a long, basically a Kawhi Leonard type of situation.
He's
so he's traded, right?
Doing the Le'Veon Bell.
Well, it's the
NBA equivalent.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be the Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah, just a little bit. Well, I mean, Kawhi was legitimately hurt, kind of, right?
Yeah, I mean,
at least at the beginning of that, and then it turned into why would I come back for the last 2 weeks or last month of the season or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I bet Jimmy Butler goes for 52 at some point in the next week.
You do?
Yeah. Just to score 2 more than Rose, just because it's Jimmy Butler classic,
because that's the most points scored by anybody this season yet.
Right,
that's why
Jimmy Butler's going to go. Oh, you think I can't do it?
Right,
and he's going to put up 52 at some point in the next 2 weeks.
On D Wade, I thought if that was like Towns or somebody else, I could see it.
No,
but
Jimmy Butler, man.
All right,
I mean, he's not doing it necessarily to spite Derrick Rose. He's just doing it because he's like, these people are going to score his 50?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, before Adam comes on, you know what we got to do?
Oh, baby.
Yeah. It's that time. Every day we take a look at the gambling lines and put in our Hassle Streak bets, and you can too. Get in on the gambling action for yourself. Go to mybookie.com to start your own account and place your own bets. They have been in business for years and have great reviews online, and their mobile site is easy to use. Not to mention they have in-game live betting and the most rewarding player perks in the business. Plus, you can even bet the over-under on how many fantasy points a player will score each game. So lay down some cash and win big today. You win, they pay. That's the MyBookie way. Join now. MyBookie will match your deposit dollar for dollar. Visit MyBookie online today at mybookie.com, and don't forget to use a promo code QCHassle when creating your account to activate the bonus. You win, you play, you win, you get paid with MyBookie. All right. Serge, how many days in a row now are you streaking?
I have 3 going for 4.
All right.
2 I lost on Friday. So 3 in a row. 4th pick. Gosh, I'm really second guessing myself right now. I know you guys don't want to hear that out there. I'm switching gears over from NBA.
And cash and checks.
NBA's been fun, but betting the over in every NBA game you can imagine.
Yeah.
You got to.
I checked. I'm pretty sure in the past 3 or 4 days alone, if you would have taken every single over in every single NBA game, you'd probably win like 80 to 85% of the time.
There are 0 teams not averaging 100 points in the NBA right now.
Correct.
There is 1 team averaging not giving up 100 points on defense every night, and it's the Boston Celtics.
There was only 1 team last night that didn't score over 100 points. Right. That was Phoenix.
Every team in the league is averaging over 100 points. Like, you can't bet an under in the NBA anymore.
There's no defense. The only over-unders that I would stay away from are, the lowest one of the week is typically, probably maybe stay away from that one.
Maybe.
Or your 2 really good teams against each other.
Sure. Yeah, because they're going to
Those
bust
are
a little bit.
defense.
Well, certainly this time of year, nobody's really giving it everything, right?
Do you know what the lowest one is tonight?
With the lowest what? Over-under?
Lowest over-under. I can pull it up here.
212.
I guarantee you it's going to be the Bucks and the Celtics.
Sure. 'Cause it's two good teams that'll both try, right?
Yeah. Two good teams here, Bucks and Celtics. 221.5, and that is in fact the lowest.
Right.
Oh no, sorry.
A 221?
Cleveland, Denver. Sorry, Cleveland, Denver is 218. So second lowest. But as much as
218 is the lowest over/under in the NBA tonight.
So Andy from the Natty actually called my pick earlier. I already kind of had my mind made up, so I'm going away from NBA. I'm going to NCAA football. We have a national champion UCF tonight over Temple. So they're at home against Temple, minus 12.5.
Nice.
But Temple has Temple's not bad, so I'm kind of leery on it. But UCF is covered in almost every single game.
Sure.
I think all but one they've covered.
Yeah, I think it was against Memphis.
Yep, Memphis, they won by 1.
Yes, because they were
Okay.
down by like 2 or 3 scores at halftime.
That's it. I'm going to take UCF.
Nice.
I'm not going to cheer for them the rest of the year. I don't care what happens to them in the postseason. I don't care if they have a parade or not. That's fine. Have their fun. But I'll cheer for them tonight.
You going to watch the Oakland Raiders versus the 49ers tonight?
To see who gets the first pick of the draft next year?
I think I
DK
got
already called it.
I got something else for you.
Well,
to
first,
watch.
my pick for the streak, I'm taking Creed in Creed 2. I think he's got a good chance against this Drago fella.
If he dies, he dies.
I think he's gonna pull it out at the end. And I think the crowd by the end is really gonna respect this Creed.
All right. Well, let me tell you about something else. Okay? Tonight, there's going to be an interview with John Gruden.
Yes.
And you've heard about this?
Yeah,
or not? Okay. It's going to be on tonight.
There is.
I just love watching him talk.
Well, you're going to love what he says here, and I'll just give you a quote or whatever.
I heard
there's
this morning.
Yeah, there's a preview of the interview it came out this morning on Fox Sports. They let out. He gets a cell phone call. Basically, here's a quote. I got a cell phone just like you and everybody else.
Yes.
So he's letting you know that he may be...
He's with the technology.
Yeah, he may be 10 years removed from coaching the NFL, but he's got a smartphone. He doesn't say smartphone. He's got a cell phone. So maybe he's got Snake on there. He's got a Nokia.
He's on fleek.
Yeah, there you go. He's got a cell phone just like you and everybody else. I get a lot of phone calls from people that are dying to come play here. Well, yeah. I mean,
what does that mean?
I don't know. I'm just telling you they're dying to play for the Raiders, Gruden said. And to have salary cap space and to have a chance to talk to the people that you really want to wear the silver and black, these guys you really he said these guys you really want to wear the silver and black and represent this team. That's exciting.
Can I give you a couple of the names of the players who have called John Gruden?
Yes, please do.
Steven Garcia, John Gibbs, Eli Jenkins, R.J. Neely, Stephen Morris, Kevin Am. I'm just naming quarterbacks from the AAF league.
Yeah, no,
this is all the people who are calling John Gruden to try to get on the Raiders.
Yeah, saying please don't make me play in the AAF. According to the site overthecap.com, the Raiders are estimated to have $68 million in salary cap space in 2019. They also have 3 first-round picks in the 2019 draft.
Okay, let's put aside the part that this is ridiculous that people are calling John Gruden over where they want to play for the Raiders. What does that mean in the NFL? Like, you're either a free agent or you're not. You can either actually go play with the Raiders or not, or you're an unsigned free agent and then you're calling John Gruden because nobody else gave you a job and you want that job.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. If you want something to do for this Thursday night game besides gamble on it or anything like that,
I mean, Oakland and San Francisco seems pretty brutal.
You got to watch this interview. If you have that void from having John Gruden not on your Monday Night Football,
you know I do.
Yeah,
I do.
This is going to
only because you work on Monday nights with the volume on NFL, all the time. And if you didn't do that, you wouldn't care.
That and we always gambled on the Gruden grinder,
right?
Which was one of the.
So you are one of what 4 people that actually has that void?
Yes.
If you've got a miniature-sized John Gruden hole in your heart,
and who doesn't?
Tonight, it's going to be filled.
Is there a regular-sized John Gruden hole in somebody's heart? It's always miniature.
Tonight's the night. He's going to fill it in. So it's gonna be exciting.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. He really turned that franchise around.
Yeah. So, all right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna have Adam Rosso in from Hawkeye headquarters, WHBF. We're gonna talk Iowa Hawkeye football, and we're gonna talk NBA basketball.
Play More Music and Games is the Quad City's premier jukebox and gaming provider for local bars and restaurants. Playmore provides all brand new Virtuo jukeboxes and new golden tees with the new upcoming 2019 version. Playmore also provides all new G3 dartboards, pool tables, ticket machines, and the list goes on. Playmore is now in 17 locations and currently accepting new bars in the Quad Cities. please contact Rob Roseman at 563-271-2329. That's Rob Roseman at 563-271-2329 to get your bar or restaurant set up with all new games and music at Play More Games and Music.
You're listening to Don't Hassle Us for Local, only on your Quad Cities, ESPN 93.5.
Score a touchdown on your next new or used purchase at Sexton Ford. With a huge selection of new Ford cars and trucks, you'll feel like you've entered the big game each and every time. You'll be treated like a pro player from sales to service, auto body to parts. Sexton also has a strong bench of mildly used vehicles too. Why wait? The game's on at Sexton Ford in Moline.
Want me to hit him up? No.
It's our first annual diamond sale going on now at Mary's Diamonds and Jewelry. Everything in the store is on sale. We're talking huge savings, up to 50% off.
Wow. Engagement rings starting at $349. Diamond necklaces starting at $89. Diamond earrings starting at $99. And come in for a chance to win a diamond necklace.
Wow. Get a head start on your holiday shopping with great deals going on at Mary's
Diamonds
and Jewelry. Home of the new Wow Factor. 2115 East 12th Street in the Village of East Davenport.
Wow. Sensitivity, understanding, and a tradition of kindness and caring. It's so important when a family loses a loved one. Call on us, Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, for all your service needs. You have our single-minded attention to every detail. With a range of choices and services available, our professionalism, and our deepest sympathy. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, Rock Island, Milan, Reynolds, and the Knox Chapel.
Quad Cities. Premium Midwest Beef has huge cases of beef, normally $2.89, right now $99 at North Park, South Park malls. You heard it right. The big case of beef, the family packs, the variety that's got T-bones, the New York strips, the giant mega ribeyes, the burgers, and Kansas City strips. All of your favorite cuts in one place. Buy in bulk. $289 cases right now, $99. That's huge savings. Nobody can beat these deals. Look, there's no haggling, there's no gimmicks, just huge savings. Nobody can beat it. We still have the 20 ribeyes for $25, and right now, for a limited time, we have $289 variety family packs for $99. Look for the huge truck and the big white tent at the malls right next to the Olive Garden at both locations. You can't miss it. Get there now. It includes T-bones, fillets, mega ribeyes, New York strips, burgers, and so much more. These deals won't last long.
ESPN 93.5 is KJOC Bettendorf Quad Cities from the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studio.
Welcome back to Don't Hassle Us for Local on ESPN 93.5.
What are we going to talk about?
Well,
I don't know. What do you guys? There's this gentleman from Maryland.
Okay.
He's a ball coach.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We're joined by Adam Rosso, Hawkeye headquarters, WHBF. Adam, how was your trip out to Happy Valley?
Rainy.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw the sun from about, middle of Illinois until there was a little peak of the sunset coming back west here in maybe western Indiana.
Yeah.
So about a full 2.5 days of no sun, but rainy. I don't know if you guys have been to that. Have any of you been to Happy Valley?
Mm-mm.
You know, I'd been there once before in the game. It was a few years back. I think I told you last week Hackenberg got picked 2 or 3 times. Northwestern rolled Penn State. So the tailgating was fun. Everything was fun. But, man, I didn't remember how cool it was. It's obviously a huge place. But everybody's really close to the field like Kinnick. Great atmosphere. Even with the rain and the cold, it was still a really, obviously a fantastic game. So just a cool college atmosphere. One of the better ones I've been to in the country, actually, now looking back on it. So that was great. Obviously, crazy game, crazy fourth quarter, and, Hawks not coming out on top. But one of those weeks in the Big Ten, who made more mistakes, and it ended up being Iowa, down the stretch.
Yeah, you shared a video from the end zone. What do you think was going on there exactly?
If those of you aren't familiar, it's posted, it's pinned, actually, at the top of Hawkeye headquarters on Twitter and Facebook at Hawkeye HQ, but basically, it's kind of a wide shot of that first and goal play with Nate Stanley. He's audibling. He's obviously in the background trying to get the snap off, and then the field judge in the corner of the end zone where we were appears to put his whistle in his mouth, and he starts to signal for what I think is a timeout, that he sees the Iowa coaching staff on the sideline call a timeout. That being said, Kirk Ferentz said after the game, kind of hedged his bet, saying, yeah, we would have liked to have gotten the timeout there. We wanted one, but there was a lot of traffic on the sidelines. And in looking back at some of the clips I was filming, when Iowa was throwing to that sideline, whether it's to Brandon Smith or Nick Easley or whomever, there was the TV timeout guy who's dressed in all red. He's sanctioned by the Big Ten. He's in between the sideline and the end zone. There were Penn State ball boys in between the sideline and the end zone. Not to mention the chain gang and, well, I guess just the down marker at that point. The down marker, the other Iowa coaches. I mean, there is a lot going on. And in that moment, I don't think the ref was sure what he saw, so he let the play go. Now, we've seen it every week where those guys run in and blow the play dead. So I think just as easily he could have blown that play dead and awarded Iowa the timeout. But I just think he was indecisive in what he saw and who he saw signaling for a timeout and where it was and when everything was going down. And I'll say this, I said this to a couple people on Tuesday. I mean, he's human. He's a referee's human. This isn't a robot. And there's 100,000 people screaming.
Mm-hmm.
He's got other stuff to obviously watch as well. Not to mention the refs or the coaches rather calling for timeout. And there's also a guy closer to the line of scrimmage. There's another ref. There's the line judge who, if Ferentz is running on the field, him or the referee behind the play would be the first ones to see him. So I don't think there's anything to scrutinize other than the guy's indecisiveness. But obviously, at that juncture of the game, boy, it's just an interesting view that obviously the cameras, the ESPN cameras, and even us, filming the highlights, we didn't capture that. But our digital media guy, Ryan Jaster, he was with, and he says, I got this wide view. I don't know if you want to use it. And I'm after the game editing. And I'm like, oh, man, you got to put that up right now. And I said, I don't know what our caption exactly was, but I said it just appears that he's either calling the play dead or he's seeing a timeout. And as it stands, they let the play go, and the rest is history. So interesting fodder. Ferentz really didn't talk about it on Tuesday. He just said they send a list of plays to the refs each week that either were missed, penalties that were called that they didn't think were warranted, or just plays like that. So I would assume they sent that to the Big Ten, but he says it's basically only used for them continuing ed-wise, like for training or for review after the season as they judge and critique all these refereeing crews.
But your takeaways from the game, is that, like you said at the beginning, just kind of like missed opportunities type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, you'd have a lot different feeling had Penn State not fumbled, first and goal at the 4. They were going up 17 right there. I don't think Iowa was going to stop them three times from inside the 5. They fumble the read option. Iowa doesn't score, but they flip the field position, and obviously the big play of the game was the pick 6 by Geno Stone. That looked like, really, once Iowa got that, just the kind of the feeling, everything in the stadium changed. Because Iowa's defense, other than the big McSorley play, played really well. I mean, they played really well against a very good offense. The one big play by McSorley notwithstanding, but, after the pick 6, there's a 60-yard kickoff return that puts the ball into Iowa territory again, so the defense holds them to a field goal. I think the concerning thing to me about the whole game was just the 3 quarters of Nate Stanley throwing it into the ground. I mean, I thought, honestly, we were past that. I think Penn State's pass rush early, it's kind of the Tom Brady thing, right? They got to Stanley early. They put him on the ground a little bit, maybe made his feet a little bit happy, and then he's underthrowing balls. I mean, obviously the throw to Hawkinson was a debacle that would have put him up 21-7. There's nobody within 15 yards of him, and he airmails him. So I think that all gives me a little more uneasy feeling going forward, just because we hadn't seen that since Iowa State, really. And I think Iowa State's a good defense. I think Penn State's a pretty good defense, but then all of a sudden he just flips a switch in the 4th quarter, and he's throwing darts to Smith. He's throwing darts to Sargent. He's finding Noah Fant. Like, I don't think that – I thought that inconsistency was gone from him, but it came back at, I guess, one of the most inopportune games that it could have against another contender.
Gotcha.
It seems to be – that's just college football, though. Like, these guys are never completely consistent, completely not, especially, Nate Stanley, who's not like an A1 talent. I would say this Hawkeye team is so much better than I thought they'd be, and they're actually fun to watch this year.
But we hadn't seen him. I remember that was Wisconsin last year, where he's chucking the ball into the ground.
Right.
Hold on. I don't mean to interrupt you, but hold on. Let's see if I got this here. Yeah. Hello. You're on the air. Is this who I think it is?
Who you think it is?
Yeah.
There sounds like Jill.
Yeah.
Worried that it might be one of your fans?
Nah, I knew it was you.
The phone lines. I like it.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
I mean, I was just saying. I thought you thought maybe it was, hi, Jay. This is Jill.
Anyway, say hi to Adam. Say hi to Nick, T-Roy.
Hi, Vato. Hi, Nick.
Hey, buddy. That's the same person.
Sorry, Adam.
Yeah. Adam.
Oh, I thought Vato and Nick were two different guys.
Adam was just recapping the Penn State game, and I think he's kind of saying the same thing. You can't do anything with that wide shot of the referees. It's really got to be more on Stanley about that game.
Well, the interesting...
Stanley made his mistakes, and I just think, the people that are out there, we said earlier in the week, people out there beating the kid up are ridiculous.
Yeah.
The fans at home, I should say.
Hawkeye Twitter is garbage. Like they expect a national
I will say,
championship.
guys, I'm not the big fan of, let's put it into perspective. The sun will come up tomorrow tweets. I get a little bit weirded out by that. I think you can be critical without being heinous and personal, I guess.
Absolutely.
Like Nate Stanley was bad. He was at one point, I think, 6 of 23. I mean, that's bad, and that's not what he's trained to do. That's not what he's there to do. And the fact is, in the fourth quarter, he brought him back and nearly won him the game. I mean, he was great on the last couple of drives, but he was awful earlier. I think you can be critical and be reasonable in the same breath.
I just feel like you need to have realistic expectations for Iowa Hawkeye football.
And that's where it comes into play, I think, with this stuff on Twitter.
This is like the people who want Ferentz's job every time he loses 2 games. You're not doing better than Ferentz, Iowa fans. I'm sorry. You're not bringing in Stoops anymore. You're not bringing in Urban Meyer. It's just not happening.
T-Roy, would you agree on that, though? You can be critical of any player, especially the quarterback, without being a complete jerk about it, too. But I do agree, Nick. The reason it's about reasonable expectations, like what you expect in that environment against that defense. Like, he just had a terrible game.
Yeah.
But let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
But then also, he's had a fantastic season up until then. So it is what it is, and I don't think we need to coddle a kid that's 20 years old, 21 years old, but I also don't think you need to
just trash him.
Send him death threats or whatever was going on.
You don't pull him from the game.
No,
either.
Absolutely not.
Well, who you got? Who's behind him?
For him, or that's not good for the program.
There was no chance. I mean, that type of stuff, like, you got to take a look. Like, good coaches would pull out. Like, no, they wouldn't.
No, they
wouldn't. Nobody would do that.
Not on the road in Penn State. You would never. No, you would not.
Nobody would do that.
The
like,
only guy that pulls a kid is Nick Saban because he has another kid.
He's got 4 more 5-star quarterbacks waiting,
and he doesn't care. Saban doesn't care about a kid one bit. I mean, those kids are expendable to him like a match is to people trying to start a fire. That's Nick Saban. That's not Coach Ferentz, no. One reason I wanted to call in you guys, and I don't know if you talked about it already, but it's this coach, this basketball coach that they have on recording.
Oh, did you see
I
this
saw
kid?
Your tweet, yeah.
Beating this kid down. Did you talk about this at all today?
No, we haven't yet.
It's like a compliance officer or something that handles transcripts. That one where he's like, I can send you back to Haiti. That one.
He just got hired in Maryland.
No, this is the academy guy down.
He's a high school basketball coach for what is it, the Christian Academy or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah,
and the guy wants to transfer, and he basically,
I control your transcripts.
Yeah, that is it's the same one we're talking.
Oh, okay,
about.
gotcha. Yeah. And the guy, and he's like,
this guy
he calls him the R word. He said, okay.
I can't believe he has a job come tomorrow.
Is this is this real or is this a?
I hope it's not real. I hope I'm getting catfished, and this is the big.
No, I've seen the same thing, T-Roy, too. It's something about.
No, it's real.
Yeah, it's a kid that he wanted to leave, and he said, basically, I control where you can go and what you can do.
I can ruin your life. Yeah. Again, this is like what, a 17-year-old kid in high school.
Exactly.
Or I don't care if it's a kid in college, Nick. You can't talk to someone like that.
I agree completely. But to do it to a 17-year-old kid in high school makes it even worse.
Yeah, it just tells you that, and I think it was from Rex Chapman of all people.
Yeah.
Kentucky Wildcat. I mean, dude was a baller back in the day. I mean, Rex Chapman's like, this is outrageous. And
if Rex Chapman's upset about it.
Yeah, I didn't know if the whole thing was real, but I mean, he basically was talking about extortion and telling him to look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And he's like, if you're too dumb to know what that is, let me spell it for you.
Yeah.
Then
Well, no, he said,
then
I
can't
know.
really
He
spell
goes,
that.
I know you're. He said an R word and you can't spell it or something. Yeah, he did say
Yeah.
I spell it out, but yeah, that was brutal.
He called him an F and R word. He
Yeah.
didn't even hold back.
Being a devil's advocate here, do you think this stuff's always gone on, and just because
Oh,
social media,
yeah.
we never heard about it?
Yeah.
But these guys, there's always been
Yes.
jerks at
Yep.
the AAU level
Yeah.
or obviously college that are just
Yeah.
like F off.
Yeah.
Like, if we want to transition into Maryland, that are force feeding kids that are not caring what they're doing, throwing weights at people in the weight room.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
is it always? I feel like this has happened because somebody just doesn't out of the blue. Somebody's learned that way and been like, we got to motivate these guys any way possible. So if I want to chuck a 2.5 pound weight at them, I'm going to do it.
That's a guy who's seen it done before by somebody else. That now there's microphones and cameras everywhere.
Train and motivate people, boys, in the military. All right, and I would have to say, boot camp, you're getting broke down and built up. Like, they want to break you down to your core. And never have I heard some of the stuff like is coming out of this story with this college. Like, there's levels, and there's ways to do it, and there's ways to do it where you're right and you can still earn someone's respect. I mean,
exactly, and that's what I've heard from a lot of former athletes and stuff saying, there's a lot of tough coaching out there and a lot of tough coaches.
Yeah.
But
And there's nothing
whether
wrong
it's
with
after a workout or after spring ball or after a game, you end up respectfully going forward and taking the positives and saying, hey, maybe you had a terrible workout today. Maybe you didn't get where you wanted to be at the end of your summer goals. Hey, it's not the end of the world. You got to get better type of thing. Not
It's Bobby Knight, right?
Yeah.
Like Bobby Knight rides his guys. At the end of it, they go, I appreciate that you rode me and made me the best I could be. He never took the steps of, if you want to transfer, I can ruin your life.
But I don't feel like Bob Knight today, guys, last very long.
No, Bob Knight can't. No, that stuff doesn't work anymore at all.
What was that, T-Ray?
I was at the lunch table and they knocked the food tray out of his hand so the kid couldn't eat. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's above and beyond. That doesn't happen in boot camp. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't happen.
Well, it's just, to me, it's stupid. Like, what?
Yeah.
And, like, these guys that are playing, like, at the end of the day, a lot of these guys play, like, you've seen it with Maryland. I think this is why they ended up firing Durkin. I don't think the guys were going to play on Saturday.
I heard that.
Deep down, I think they probably, half the guys in the room were probably like, we're not rolling to Michigan. We're not playing Michigan State if he's on the sidelines. Like, I'm sorry.
Well, that was reported. They had guys walk out of meetings, right?
I mean, and then why would you go through you spend so much time together in any athletic sport at any level, right? High school, college, pro. These guys are blood brothers, thick and thin, like through anything. Yeah. And when a guy dies in those circumstances, and really the guys know what was going on and what was done and what wasn't done, and they don't want, and they're saying we're not playing for him. You have to listen to that, and you have to make the right call. That your figurehead, your guy getting paid multiple $1 million, dropped the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
whether he was there or not, he dropped the ball by not monitoring the conditioning, not educating the training staff, and the weight room guy. I mean, that's a whole nother story. How he was even employed by a guy like that. But
could Maryland have handled this worse?
Well, I mean, they could have not fired Durkin. I guess 24 hours later, they at least fired him.
They didn't. They only did after all the public pressure. Like, they tried to bring him back, and they had to know this was not going to happen. They had to know this wasn't going to work.
Well, I think I heard it on.
Is it ridiculous, you guys, that it took an article by the Washington Post to finally get this guy fired? I mean, like, seriously, like who's running these universities between Michigan State, Penn State, and now Maryland? Like, they don't have any sort of common sense, awareness to what's right and wrong.
Well, I would say this: a lot of Board of Regents and boosters and everybody else are pro Maryland, and they, you know what I'm saying, like pro Ohio State, pro Penn State. They don't. It's almost they're in denial because they love the university and they are so insulary with who they associate with, what they feel about their institutions, that they're like, man, we can't handle that. This is Maryland. We're not standing. We're going to do this.
And it's a bottom line thing, right? All anyone really cares about, and this has been proven over and over again, is winning. And that's pretty much it.
That's the sad part of it.
So recap what happened with the Penn State guy. I know you guys actually talk to the guy? I saw his stuff on Twitter when we were driving over to Penn State. I mean, I what I'll say about this is
he called in Friday and basically, Adam, he's a weird conspiracy theorist guy who just wants.
Yeah, I don't know if you
it's
know.
the corner of the internet, man.
It turns out the whole thing was a hoax. The whole thing was a setup. I didn't know this until last Friday. Like the whole thing's a fraud.
It's the corner of the internet, man.
He claimed to be the only person on the planet, which was verbatim, to have interviewed Sandusky in jail twice, Bob Costas, different family members of victims and girlfriends and aunts and uncles and all sorts of other things. Yet we've never heard this guy's name before, but he's just so credited that even though he hates Jerry Sandusky, hates Penn State, hates everything that happened there, but he just believes that it's innocent, and he actually created his own argument with himself on the show. Nobody was arguing with him, and we were letting him speak his piece. His volume got to 12 and just started screaming, and he screamed at us for 20 minutes.
But at the end of the day, I didn't listen again. I apologize, but did anybody ask him why? Like why? What do you? Why? Why? Like what hill? What type of hill? What type of hill you want to die on here, man?
This is for his own personal gain on every other show or media outlet that this guy has. His page, his YouTube channel,
He's an edgelord.
All this other stuff. This is all to gain more conspiracy nuts to go check out his other outlets. That's all it was. We gave him the platform. We said it.
Clicks and views. Clicks and views.
That is 100% all it is.
I'm going to make a bad faith argument about something I don't even really believe in just to get people worked up so I can try to get some traffic to my stuff and get paid on it. And that is basically a large part of the internet economy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. It went from just, hey, call in, and T-Roy, just, hey, go ahead and state your case, why you think he's innocent, and then T-Roy's like, all right, now let me pull up some facts for you, and he just blew up. He's like, 5 things in your sentence were wrong, and then it just escalated, and then he just yelled. But it, just like Nick, you said, and Adam, you're saying, and T-Roy too, and Serge, it was a platform. He made sure that we tagged him on Twitter.
Yeah.
He made sure that he sent his minions. And these people that are, like, he hates Penn State. He hates Penn State for what they did to Sandusky because he believes it's a big cover-up. But majority of these people that are tweeting at T-Roy on their, like, pictures all are, like, Penn State fans.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So it didn't make much sense. Like,
he hates Penn State, but not for the reason you think he hates
Yeah,
Penn
right?
State.
That's an interesting, like, counter-argument. Like, hey, I hate Penn State, but...
Me too.
Yeah.
No, but not like you think. Because they really did wrong to Jerry Sandusky. Like, they didn't stand by him.
T-Roy, how's your day at home going?
Oh, she's refusing to take a nap. I got our friends from Dunright Satellite here installing a new TV. And
talking about Mookie or Hazel?
And, Hazel, yeah.
Okay.
Mookie, yeah, she's the worst. She's even worse than Hazel. But no, boys, I'm gonna let you go.
Yep.
Try to get this kid down for a nap, hopefully. And thanks for letting me call in.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Happy Rocky Month.
You guys are the best. This is the best show in the Quad Cities, hands down. And,
you just mean today or in general?
I'm just saying, it's the best radio show, sports radio show in the Quad Cities.
Probably ever.
Thanks, T-Roy. You have a good day. We'll talk to you soon. Yep, bye. All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with Adam Rosso from Hawkeye Headquarters and WHBF. We'll talk a little bit more about Maryland with the four of us, and then we'll do the power rankings.
Hey, do you want to try the best pizza in the Quad Cities?
I sure do.
Then you need to get to Vans, Serge. Whether you're downtown or uptown, Vans Pizza Pub and Grill has the best pizza pies to satisfy your hunger. Check them out tonight. They have Rockstar Bingo starting at 8 at Vans Pizza Pub and Grill, downtown Davenport at 217 Brady Street. Each bingo wins a free drink. Both locations also have $3 25-ounce drafts, $3 cooler shots, and $1 off wings. Saturday's game day. Stop into your favorite Vans locations for great college football specials. Food specials are $6 bread nuggets, $6 double cheeseburger baskets, $3 16-ounce cans, $4 bombs, $5 domestic miniature pitchers, $7 craft mini pitchers, $3 Bloody Marys, $12 Coors Light, Bud Light, Miller Lite buckets. Check out more daily specials on Facebook or follow them on Twitter at VansPizza09. That's their Twitter?
Yeah.
We need to get them a better Twitter handle. Check out Vans Pizza.
You're listening to Don't Hassle Us for Local, only on your Quad Cities, ESPN 93.5.
Mike has FOM, the fear of missing McRib, so we cleared his calendar.
Yo, dude, backstage passes? Nah. Hey, babe, this weekend? Can't do it. What up? That sounds great, but count me out.
Do what you gotta do. Just don't miss the return of the sandwich, the myth, the legend, the McRib. Come into McDonald's today and get a delicious, saucy McRib sandwich, made even better with the one-of-a-kind taste of Dr. Pepper, the one you crave. At participating McDonald's for a limited time.
You've been there, right? You put on that jacket you haven't worn in like 6 months. Reach into the pocket and find a McCafe brewed coffee. Well, not really, but there is a crumpled old dollar in there. And on McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu, that's the price of any size McCafe brewed coffee or a savory sausage biscuit. Oh, and check the other pocket, too. Could be a tasty sausage McMuffin in there. Find more $1 breakfast favorites on the $1, $2, $3 menu at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Tax extra.
Score a touchdown on your next new or used purchase at Sexton Ford. With a huge selection of new Ford cars and trucks, you'll feel like you've entered the big game each and every time. You'll be treated like a pro player from sales to service, auto body to parts. Sexton also has a strong bench of mildly used vehicles, too. Why wait? The game's on at Sexton Ford in Moline.
Sexton Ford is the talk of the town.
Join the Nebraska and Iowa chapter of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation for an evening of education and community. Wednesday, November 11th at the American Red Cross Building on River Drive in Moline. Doors open at 5:30 and the program begins at 6. Register at online.ccfa.org/Quad Cities 2018. Hear local IBD experts explain what's on the horizon in the treatment and research of Crohn's and colitis. The IBD Patient Education Event, Wednesday, November 7th at the American Red Cross Building in Moline. Online.ccfa.org/Quad Cities 2018.
It's our first annual diamond sale going on now at Mary's Diamonds and Jewelry. Everything in the store is on sale. We're talking huge savings, up to 50% off.
Wow. Engagement rings starting at $349. Diamond necklaces starting at $89. Diamond earrings starting at $99. And come in for a chance to win a diamond necklace.
Wow. Get a head start on your holiday shopping with great deals going on at Mary's Diamonds and Jewelry, home of the new Wow Factor, 2115 East 12th Street in the Village of East Davenport.
Wow. This week, find great deals at Walgreens, like buy one, get one free on hundreds of vitamins and supplements to help you stay healthy. Get ready for that big game with 16-ounce Blue Diamond almonds, regularly $9.99, now just $5.99 with card. Looking for a sweet deal? Select Hershey candy bars, just 2 for $1 with card. Get great deals on the essentials you need right here at your neighborhood Walgreens. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. While supplies last, restrictions and exclusions apply. See store for details.
ESPN 93.5 is KJOC Bettendorf Quad Cities from the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studio.
Welcome back to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5 here in the Quad Cities. Thanks to everybody out there listening on 93.5 or on your ESPN 93.5 app, on your laptop or computer at ESPN935.com. We're on a YouTube channel, QC Hassle Us, and we're on the Vans Pizza Pub and Grill Facebook Live. You can leave a comment there. We're with Adam Rosso from Hawkeye Headquarters, talking about the Hawkeye game from last weekend, and we got the Purdue game. When do you take off for Purdue, Adam?
I'm not going to go till Saturday morning. Going to cover a little North Scott, Western Dubuque tomorrow for Channel 4. Be up in Eldridge doing that, and then leave. You know, it's probably about a 4-hour drive to West Lafayette, so leave about 9 o'clock, a little before maybe to get over there.
Yeah.
Get set up, and looks like nice weather, so that'll be a change from the last couple weeks, and should be an interesting one. Purdue, we'll get to the power rankings, but they're kind of Jekyll and Hyde all year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, last week Blau throws 3 picks. They missed 2 field goals. I mean, there was a pretty even game with Michigan State. They ended up losing by 10. Obviously, they go off against Ohio State. They beat BC by a lot, but then they lose to Eastern Michigan, which is kind of unexplainable. So, I don't know. Nate Stanley concerns me just for the fact, without getting too deep into this, I feel like he tenses up. And I think that's one of the few ways to explain what happened in the first half. he just wasn't relaxed and comfortable. Whether that's the environment, the defense, combination of both, I don't know, but that concerns me going into another tough road game.
Yeah, last week the Michigan State versus Purdue, I thought was easy money to take Michigan State.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, that's what I picked. But
and it just seems like everybody has fallen in love with Purdue since this game. We knew about Moore, and who's the freshman? That
is Moore.
What's the other guy's name? Knox.
Knox.
Yeah. So we knew about those guys. And we talked about it last week about how much they gushed over him during the Ohio State game. The Hawkeye defense, that's going to be it. Obviously, they'll have to shut him down. But yeah, I can't remember exactly who it was. If it was Howe or Docterman, or they went through the stats of Stanley, and like the last two haven't been overly impressive as the ones that were sandwiched in between. So we'll see what we get out of Stanley here.
And I think that's what it comes. I think the Iowa defense we've seen all year, they show up. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've shown up every game. You can't really say the bad thing about them as far as the way they played. They've had better games than others, but they'll be there. The concerning thing was like last week. I mean, Iowa with the two safeties, the field position, everything they got, they're 17-17 at halftime, and they clearly should have been up by at least a touchdown at half, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
If you get in that position again, I don't know. That's what we'll see. And we'll know in the first quarter. I mean, you guys saw it against Wisconsin. Even though they got stopped, they drove right down the field. You and I right down the field. Minnesota, Indiana, all these games that they've won or looked good offensively, they've gone right down the field in one of the first two drives.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, they got handed the ball twice and at the 50, and they barely got field goals out of it. So I know T-Row's going to be upset. I'm actually picking Purdue to win. The offense last week really, they looked like offensive last year on the road. And I think Purdue's decent. I think Purdue's better than Minnesota or Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
A lot better.
Yeah.
So we'll see. 27-23 is my pick. I think it's another one-possession game. I could see this easily being an Iowa victory. I could see it easily being a Purdue victory, which is, I don't know, throw it up in the air, toss-up. I mean, Purdue, like I said, 4 weeks ago, they lost their first 3 games by combined 7 points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're a couple field goals away from being 7-1 right now, really.
I mean, you're kind of finding out if you're good this week, right?
I called it it's a 4-week survivor pool kind of. Iowa wins, Purdue's gone out of the race.
Yep.
The next week, Iowa Northwestern, whoever wins, they're still going in the race.
Iowa's legit good this week, or if they're good this year, they win this week, right?
I think they're good anyway. I just think that they've made in the 2 games they've lost some mistakes at the worst possible time.
Sure.
And who's to say? I mean, that concerns me because I think it's going to be another close game. And I think this week is more of a challenge defensively than next week will be. I think Northwestern's defense is probably better than Purdue's, but I think Northwestern's offense isn't even close to what Purdue's is, and I think it'll be interesting. I was talking about this with Dan Vasco yesterday. Do they just play nickel the whole time and bring Hooker down to cover more? Do they slide a safety to Moore's side the whole time? I mean, I think last week was kind of the blueprint. I think he had 10 or 11 catches for 74 yards. So Michigan State tackled well, but they also didn't let him get down the field.
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to do that? Because if you bring Hooker down, are you more vulnerable to having Knox run the football? It's an interesting chess match. Brom's a good offensive coach. Obviously, Parker and Iowa know what they're doing.
Yeah,
it's kind of like last week where I think you might see Purdue knock one of those plays like the quarterback, the great design by Penn State where McSorley ran basically untouched. That was just a great play call against the blitz. Nothing you can do about it. You might see that a couple times this week just because both coaching staffs are really good at what they do. It'll come down to the execution on those 5-yard plays where, hey, if Moore gets loose, he could turn it into a 70-yard play. If Hooker or the linebackers tackle him, Iowa should be fine.
I got Iowa by a lot. I don't know. I think Purdue's going to fall back on the team that, just struggled. And that game against Ohio State, the game was within reach, and then Ohio State just couldn't tackle.
But they shredded BC at home, too. BC's a ranked team at home.
Yeah.
They should have beat Northwestern had they started Blau and not the other quarterback.
And Blau struggled last week.
On the Michigan State's, I mean, that was a classic D'Antonio game.
Yep.
We looked humiliated by Michigan. Everybody's talking about the banter back and forth. We got fined. Nobody's giving us any respect. Purdue just beat Ohio State, and they come out and play a Michigan State. Michigan State is the Iowa of the Eastern Division. Let's just say it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
It's exactly what they are. If they get a couple breaks, they can win the division every year. If they don't get a couple breaks, they can be around 500 every year.
Sure.
That's what they are.
No, that's a good point about Michigan State. Quick, let's go through the power rankings, and I want to talk about Rose's 50 points with you.
Bottom is still Rutgers. Did you guys see there was a double murder plot?
Yeah,
This linebacker.
And it's also the anniversary this week that we let in Maryland and Rutgers. We announced it. Yeah.
I mean, what in the world?
Coincidence?
Yeah. What in the world? They're obviously last. Illinois is still bad. 13. Minnesota.
Man, Illinois is bad.
Minnesota. Yeah, right.
Oh, like how are you that bad?
Well, I don't know how Lovey stays and gets another year, but I don't think they want to fire him with that buyout.
Yeah.
Anyway, Indiana drops to 12th after somehow Minnesota pulled it out. That was the Friday night game up in Minneapolis. I didn't see any of it because we were driving, but apparently the new quarterback, Tanner Morgan, has given them a little shot in the arm, so they bump up to 11th from, I think they were 12th. Nebraska, I got a 10. We'll see. I mean, they don't really have anything exciting going, but, I mean, Bethune-Cookman doesn't really turn the needle for the Husker fans. Maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe they're excited about the second win. Maryland, I just have right next to him Gong Show. We didn't talk too much about it, but just how not to handle a crisis 101.
Yeah.
Just, you know.
They're doing their best.
Just.
The whole I can't believe they fired him. They're caving into pressure. And then the response is he's getting $5 million in a vacation.
Yeah.
This guy lost his life. Stop it. I mean, it's crazy.
Everything's going to be just fine for a football coach guy. He's going to end up being like a coordinator somewhere 2 months from now because these football coaches can't stop hiring guys that they've worked with all their lives or their kids.
It's very true. It's a great point, Nick. It is very, very true. Yes.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
Number 8, Purdue. Like I said before, Jekyll and Hyde team. Don't know what to make of them. I mean, they're probably the 4th out of the 4 contenders in the West right now. They got a lot more work to do. I think they have to obviously beat Wisconsin and Iowa and win their other 2 games. We'll see this week. They could easily knock off the Hawkeyes, like I said. 7, Michigan State. I think they've been between 5 and 7 all year long. I mean, we've never really. They're nothing spectacular, but they win games, defense and some opportunistic offense. So they're 7th. 6th, I got Wisconsin. I mean, we say what you want about Hornibrook. That team last week was not good without him. Not good. And then when Taylor fumbles, I mean, they're even worse. But going forward, I mean, they have no shot against Penn State if he doesn't play. I'll say that right now. I think Penn State's still a favorite if he does play. So, anyway, Hawkeyes 5. I think they're destined for Citrus Bowl or Holiday Bowl. Book your tickets now through that travel agency you guys pub. I'm sure she'll set you up good in either Orlando or San Diego, both of which I think would be cool, especially San Diego with the Holiday Bowl history the Hawkeyes have from back in the 80s when they played in it. That wouldn't be bad. Northwestern I have at 4, and I'll tell you this, and I saw this on their Twitter account. 12-1 in their last 13 Big Ten games.
Wow.
12-1.
Yeah.
Their only loss? 17-0 lead against Michigan at home, 4 weeks ago?
Yep.
They easily could be 13-0 in their last 13 games. I don't really know how they're doing it.
I don't know either.
How do you think they're going to do this weekend?
They're my pick to click.
Yeah.
Told you guys that a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And how about, we didn't talk, Brian Stocking calling the Purdue upset a couple weeks ago.
I know.
Stockpile gold, man.
Yeah, he nailed it.
I don't know. Northwestern, they always play Iowa tough. It's going to be the game like it always is every year. Good back and forth, physical. They don't do much for me, but or maybe we're underrating Clayton Thorson. I don't know. But 12-1 in your last 13 Big Ten games, that's impressive. And it's not like they're playing cupcakes. I mean, they played Michigan and Michigan State this year.
Duke.
They beat Michigan State last year at home. They beat. They're not in the Big Ten.
I know, but outside of Big Ten, Duke.
That doesn't matter. They just got to win the
Doesn't
West.
Notre Dame play Duke?
Yeah, but I didn't say Notre Dame didn't play cupcakes.
Notre Dame.
You guys, what's the line on that? You guys think? I mean, I think they can win that legitimately. I am not even like that. Notre Dame to me every year
9.5.
Meh. I think Northwestern's fine on that. Fitz has these guys ready to play. I don't know how. Like I said, I don't know how he does it. They don't have the best talent ever.
I'm not going to disagree, but yeah, he's annoying. I mean, they're annoying. But it's just because they're always a pain in Iowa's side. That's all.
Yep.
You can't, like you said, you can't put your finger on it. But the numbers are there. 12-1. They get it done.
That's impressive. I mean, that's really impressive. Top 3, probably like this every year. Penn State at 3. They have the tough. I mean, I looked at their schedule. The toughest schedule in the Big Ten by far. Playing both Wisconsin and Iowa in their crossover games, and then also obviously having to play the gauntlet of the East: Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan State. So they could run the table here and be the second team in the Big Ten. Go to the New Year's Six Bowl. They could also lose 2 more games, Michigan and Wisconsin. So they're really good though. McSorley, I think you saw his worth last week. The knee injury comes back. The team, I think Farron said it after, everybody believes they're never out of it with a guy like that. And that's all you can ask for as a college quarterback, a guy that everybody believes in. He galvanizes that team.
I think also important that equally he believes in himself. And that's key too. I mean, like you said, they never feel out of it, but he's not letting you down in that huddle.
Yeah, I mean
he's going to tell you,
exactly.
Let's go do this. So.
Exactly. Just impressive kid all around. Michigan, Ohio State at the top. Still Wolverines 1, Buckeyes 2. I think the game at the Horseshoe on that Saturday is obviously an eliminator game. Whoever wins that wins the Big Ten East, goes to the Big Ten Championship with an opportunity to play into the college football playoff. I don't know. It's Alabama and everybody else, guys. Let's be real. But this weekend, hey,
anything can happen.
Never know down there. You never know. Coach O in the Bayou. I don't know. I think that's gonna be a fun one to watch. I'm going to probably try to listen to it on the way home.
Let's all just root for Alabama to lose a couple. Right?
And wouldn't that be? I mean, it just adds to the fun of college football.
They'll be fine,
right?
If they lose a game.
All right, it's going to be that time. Time flies when you're having fun. Serge's going to look into his crystal ball, let you know who's working where happy hour to make your happy hour that much happier, who's working tonight to make your nightlife that much more lit. Serge?
Hey, Jay.
You got some people out there?
I sure do.
Yay!
Got a whole bunch of them here, actually. Kim Luke's going to be at the Mound for happy hour. $2 Wells, $2.50 domestics, $1 off drafts. Will the Thrill's going to be at Old Chicago. Come get your drinks at Old Chicago. Happy hour starts at 3. Kylie and Anna are going to be at the new Gypsy Highway Biker Bar from 6 to close. Catch Chuck Murphy and his acoustic set from 7 to 11. Shelby's going to be at the Poorhouse from 8 to close with $3 imports. Nicole's going to be at Jack's at 6 p.m. $1 slices of Johnny's Pizza during the game and $3 draft specials. Travis Berger is going to be at Carriage House or Kilkenny's. Either that or he's just plugging both of them. 8 to 11, they have 3-for-1s. 11 to midnight, 2-for-1s. Bringing back the 90s is their party tonight. Danielle is going to be at the Meat Market from 6 to close. 2 for 3 well drinks. Sure, sounds good. Andy Katie wants us to know the difference between Hugh Jackman and Hugh Jackman. Okay, check out that picture if you want to. Then he's got a whole bunch of other things to say that I don't think I can say on the radio. Danny Bemis is going to be at the gallery from 7 to close. Skip's going to be tipping tequila, 2-for-1 house margaritas all day long. Randy invites us to come out to Jimmy O's for Twerkin' Thursday. Looks like $1 off vodka, and Hacksaw's already passed out. Peter and Gary are going to be at Max tonight with $1 well drinks, $2 domestics, $3 calls, and cooler shots karaoke starting at 10. Tiffany invites us to come to Radical Effect Brewworks. Mary Redpath's going to be at Kilkenny's. John Gregoire's at 11:17. Lobo's got that salsa. Eva Hahn's going to be at Phil and Larry's. There you have it.
Also, the Collins shout out.
Oh, the Collins shout out. It is wedding weekend. We have Brian and Katie going to be getting married this weekend. Also, Doug and Jamie are doing their wedding reception. And then Sal and Allie getting married. Big wedding weekend.
Congratulations.
Brian Collins, Katie Collins, Craig, I will see you there tomorrow night, brother.
Also, our good friend Bobby Ray Bunches is going to be at Harrington's tonight. Bobby Bunches at Harrington's. If you're
Doug Brundy's at 11:17.
You're in the drinking mood.
Adam, have a safe trip. We'll see you next week.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for everything. You guys have a hassle-free Thursday. We will see you tomorrow.
EN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. After losing his spot in the rotation, Cavaliers guard J.R. Smith wants the team to trade him. Smith considered taking time away from the team after being told this week he would not be guaranteed any further playing time. James Harden of the Rockets is doubtful for tomorrow night's game against the Nets with a left hamstring strain. Harden may be able to play on Saturday. The biggest game of the college football weekend is number 1 Alabama at third-ranked LSU. A real challenge for the Tigers defense, says ESPN's Greg McElroy.
They're going to have to adjust late and not just line up and play it. Because if you line up and play it and Tua knows where to go with the football, it's over. Because the guy's just unbelievably accurate.
Tonight on ESPN at 7:30 Eastern, an American Conference East Division battle for first place. 12th-ranked UCF hosts Temple. Both teams 4-0 in conference play. Week 9 in the NFL doesn't exactly kick off with a clash of titans. The 1-6 Raiders play the 1-7 49ers in Santa Clara. 49ers quarterback C.J. Beathard about 50-50 to play with right wrist and thumb injuries.